Your boss says you make $30 an hour. Sounds good, right? You did the math. 40 hours a week times 30 bucks. That's $1,200 a week before taxes. Not bad. But here's the thing. When you actually calculate what you earn per hour of your actual life, that number drops to about $4, maybe less. And no, I'm not talking about taxes. This is about the hours you'll never get paid for, and you're giving them away right now. My name is Ricky, and I spend way too much time thinking about how jobs actually pay us. If this changes how you see your paycheck, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Look, you wake up, it's 6 in the morning. Your alarm goes off and you hit snooze maybe once, maybe twice if you're being honest. You drag yourself out of bed, shower, get dressed, maybe grab some coffee. You're out the door by 7:15. The commute takes 40 minutes if traffic's good, an hour if it's not. You get to work by 8:30, clock in, start your shift. 8 hours later, you clock out. But you're not done. You sit in traffic again, another 40 minutes, sometimes longer. You get home around 6. You're tired, like that specific kind of tired where you just want to sit on the couch and not think about anything. You make some dinner, watch some TV, scroll through your phone. Before you know it, it's 10 o'clock. You got to be up at 6 again tomorrow, so you should probably get to bed. And this is your life. 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. You're doing everything they told you to do. You got the job, you show up on time, you work hard. Your paycheck says $30 an hour. And that should feel like enough, right? But here's what's actually happening. You're giving away way more than 8 hours a day. You're giving away 12 hours, sometimes 13. From the moment that alarm goes off to the moment you collapse into bed, your entire day revolves around that job. And when you do the actual math, when you divide your take-home pay by the hours you actually give up, the number gets real ugly real fast. But nobody talks about this. Your boss doesn't mention it in the interview. The HR person doesn't bring it up when they're going over your benefits. They tell you your hourly rate, and you think that's what you're making. But it's not even close. And the crazy part? Most people work their entire lives without ever doing this calculation. They just accept the number on their paycheck and assume that's reality. It's not reality. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. All right, let's do the math the way it should be done. We're going to use real numbers, nothing hypothetical. You make $30 an hour. You work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, 2 weeks vacation. That's 2,000 hours of work annually, times $30, $60,000 a year. But taxes take about 30%, maybe more depending on your state. So you're taking home $42,000. That's $3,500 a month, $807 a week. Now here's where it gets interesting. Every weekday, you actually give up these hours. 30 minutes getting ready in the morning, 40 minutes commuting to work, 8 hours at work, 30 minutes for lunch that you can't actually use for yourself, 40 minutes commuting home. Total, 10 hours and 20 minutes every single day. 5 days a week, that's 51 and a half hours every single week that revolve around your job. Not 40 hours. 51 and a half. So let's recalculate. You're taking home $807 a week. Divide that by 51 and a half hours, you're making $15.67 per hour. Your real hourly rate just got cut in half. But we're not done. Because you need the weekend to keep working. Saturday and Sunday aren't really free time. You're doing laundry, meal prepping, running errands, recovering. All so you can do it again Monday morning. Without the weekend, you couldn't maintain the 5-day work week, which means the weekend is part of the cost of working. Let's add 10 hours on the weekend for all that stuff. Now you're at 61 and a half hours total. $807 divided by 61 and a half hours. $13.12 per hour. But wait, now we gotta factor in the costs. Your car, gas, insurance, maintenance, depreciation, $300 a month. That's $75 a week. And it doesn't stop there. Work clothes, coffee in the morning because you're exhausted, grabbing lunch out a couple times a week because that 30-minute break isn't enough time to go home and make something. Add it all up, that's another $50 a week, easy. So we're taking $125 off your weekly take-home. 807 minus 125, $682, divided by 61 and a half hours, $11.09 per hour. That's your real number. That $30 an hour job is paying you $11. And here's the part that should honestly make you mad. Those 61 and a half hours every week, you can't use them for anything else. You can't build a side business. You can't learn new skills that might pay you more. You can't invest in relationships or opportunities. You're trading all of that for $11 an hour. And nobody told you. Your employer benefits from you not knowing this. The car dealership benefits from you thinking you make $30 an hour instead of $11. The landlord charging you $1,800 a month for rent, they definitely benefit from you not doing this math. Because if you knew you were really making $11 an hour, you might realize that rent is costing you 163 hours of your actual life every single month. You might make different choices. You might move somewhere cheaper. You might get a roommate. You might negotiate for remote work to kill that commute. But instead, you're making financial decisions based on a fantasy number. And that's why you feel broke, even though you have what seems like a decent job. The math you're using is wrong. Look, here's the thing though. I'm not just here to depress you. I'm here to show you what to actually do about it. Because once you understand your real hourly rate, everything changes. The decisions you make, the opportunities you chase, the expenses you cut, all of it. So let me show you exactly how to use this information to actually improve your situation.
Let me tell you about my friend Jake. Jake worked at a warehouse making $28 an hour. He thought he was doing pretty well, better than most of his friends. He financed a truck, nice one, $50,000, $600 monthly payment. He figured with his salary, no problem. Then one day we're having coffee and I walk him through this calculation. His face just fell. Because when he calculated his real hourly rate, with the commute, the work clothes, the gas, everything, he was making about $10 an hour. That truck payment, 60 hours of his life every single month, just for a truck that's losing value every day. He sat there for like 5 minutes not saying anything. Then he's like, "I'm an idiot." And I'm like, "No, you just didn't have the right information." Jake sold that truck, got something cheaper, used the extra money to pay off his credit cards. Within a year, he had enough saved to quit that warehouse job and start doing freelance work from home. Now he makes $22 an hour on paper, $6 less than before, but his real hourly rate is actually $19 because he has no commute, no work clothes, no gas costs, and he's way happier. Here's another one. Sarah worked downtown at a marketing firm, $45 an hour, but her commute was brutal. Hour and 15 minutes each way, nearly 3 hours a day just getting to and from work. Professional clothes, dry cleaning, $20 a day for parking. When she did the real math, $19 an hour for a job that paid $45. She found a remote position that paid $38 an hour, $7 less on paper, but with no commute, no parking, no professional wardrobe costs. Her real hourly rate jumped to $31. She took a pay cut and started making way more in reality. Now let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus never did this calculation. He's been at the same company for 12 years, $26 an hour, hour-long commute each way. He complains about being broke all the time, but never changes anything, because he looks at that $26 and thinks it's decent. He doesn't realize he's actually making about $9 an hour after everything. And because he doesn't know that, he keeps making the same choices. Same expensive apartment near work because the rent seems affordable at $26 an hour. Same car payment because, hey, he makes decent money. Same life, same stress, same feeling of never getting ahead. That's what happens when you don't know your real numbers. You stay stuck. Okay, so now you know the problem. Let's talk about what you actually do about it. Because understanding your real hourly rate is only useful if you use it to make better decisions. Here are the exact steps. Step 1. Calculate your actual number. This week, sit down and do this math for real. Take your monthly take-home pay after taxes, multiply by 12, divide by 52. That's your weekly take-home. Now calculate your real hours. Time getting ready, commute, work hours, lunch you can't actually use, commute home, add time on weekends doing stuff that supports your work life, add up all your work-related costs, car, gas, clothes, parking, whatever. Subtract those weekly costs from your take-home. Divide by your real hours. That's your real hourly rate. Write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see it. Step 2. Audit every expense using this number. Go through your bank statements from last month. For every recurring expense, calculate how many hours of your real time it costs. That $600 car payment? 60 hours at $10 an hour. That $150 cable bill? 15 hours. That $12 Netflix subscription? Little over an hour. Probably worth it. Now ask yourself, is this actually worth this many hours of my life? Some things will be worth it. Some things you'll realize are insane. Cut the insane ones. Step 3. Optimize your biggest time drains. Your commute is probably your biggest problem. Here's what you can do. 1. Negotiate remote work. Even 2 days a week working from home saves you 10 hours and cuts your car costs. 2. Move closer to work. Yeah, rent might be higher, but if it cuts an hour off your daily commute, you're gaining 5 hours a week. That might actually save you money when you do the real math. 3. Find a different job closer to home. Even if it pays slightly less on paper, it might pay more in reality. Look at your work-related costs. Can you carpool? Can you take public transit? Can you negotiate a clothing allowance? Every dollar you reduce in work costs is a dollar that actually stays in your pocket. Step 4. Evaluate new opportunities correctly. Next time you're looking at a job offer, don't just look at the hourly rate. Look at the total package. What's the commute? What are the costs? What are the real hours you'll give up? A job that pays $40 an hour with a 2-hour commute might actually pay less than a job that pays $35 fully remote. Do the math before you say yes. Step 5. Invest in increasing your real hourly rate. Here's what most people miss. You can increase your real hourly rate 2 ways. 1. Make more money per hour. 2. Reduce the hours you give up. Most people focus on number 1, but number 2 is often easier and faster. Learn skills that let you work remotely, like if you're in customer service right now, learning Zendesk and Salesforce could let you apply for remote support jobs that pay the same but eliminate your commute. That's an instant raise in your real hourly rate without negotiating a single dollar more in salary. Build systems that generate income without requiring your time. Negotiate flexibility. Create multiple income streams. That's how you actually get ahead. Not by working more hours, by making each hour worth more or needing fewer hours total. Look, I know this is a lot, but here's the thing. You're already giving up these hours. You're already making these sacrifices. You just weren't counting them. Now you are, and that changes everything.
Because now you can make decisions based on reality instead of fantasy. And that's when your financial situation actually starts improving. Look, I'm not saying you need to live in a van and eat ramen to optimize your hourly rates. That's a different video. I'm saying make decisions based on reality instead of the fantasy number on your paycheck. Because once you see the real number, you can't unsee it. And that's actually a good thing, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Let me wrap this up. Your stated hourly rate is not what you actually make. When you factor in commute, prep time, work-related costs, and the time needed to sustain your work schedule, your real hourly rate is probably half what you think, maybe less. And you're making financial decisions based on the wrong number. That's why you feel broke even with a decent job. The solution is simple but not easy. calculate your real hourly rate. Use that number to evaluate every expense and every opportunity. Optimize your biggest time drains. Invest in things that increase your real rate over time. This isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about making better decisions with the information you actually have. Once you know your real hourly rate, you'll see opportunities you didn't see before. You'll cut expenses that don't make sense. You'll take jobs that actually pay better, even if they look worse on paper. And over time, your situation improves. Not because you got lucky, not because someone handed you something, but because you finally understood what your time is actually worth, and you started making decisions accordingly. Remember how we started? $30 an hour becomes $4. Now you know why, and more importantly, you know what to do about it. If this video changed how you think about your job, hit that thumbs up button. And go ahead and subscribe, because I make videos about money that actually matter. Drop a comment and let me know what your real hourly rate turned out to be. I'm genuinely curious. And here's your homework. This week, calculate your number. Take 15 minutes tonight. Open your last pay stub, grab a calculator, go through the 5 steps I just gave you. Write down your real hourly rate on a sticky note and put it on your bathroom mirror. Look at it every morning for a week. That's your homework. Actually do it. Don't just think about it. Because knowing your real hourly rate is the first step to changing your financial situation. And if you got friends who need to hear this, send them this video. Chances are they're making the same mistake you were making 20 minutes ago. That's it. Go do the math. And I'll see you in the next one.